friends, welcome back to Aaron's Anxiety. I am your host, Aaron, your personal guide through anxiety. Getting started today, please, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. If you could at least watch 2 videos to make sure that you kind of subscribe to the way that I go about things and the way that I convey information. It's better to at least get a couple videos behind you before you actually just go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you like the content. So, second, like the video. That always helps reach more people. And lastly, if you'd like to, and you haven't already, join us on the Aaron's Anxiety family page. Great group of folks. Blah, blah, blah. So, getting started today, I want to talk about something that's going to be a little bit more controversial than a lot of the other things I talk about, and that is dealing with the red flags that are going to pop up in your anxiety journey as you go along. We all have triggers. We all have things that we know we kind of avoid. We all have things that we kind of run into in our day-to-day that create anxiety within us. And so I'll give you a couple of mine, okay? That way, in instance. Now, none of these usually make sense, okay? Keep this in mind. So don't be throwing shade on my triggers, because I know yours probably don't make sense either. For whatever reason, if I'm driving down the road, I haven't told anybody this. If I'm driving down the road and I get to 80 miles an hour, not 70, you get on the bypass or the toll road or a highway and you get to 70 miles an hour, it's totally fine. But for whatever reason, when I get to 80 miles an hour, I start feeling anxious. Okay, now, side note, okay, for all the people that love me, I don't do that often, okay? I try not to get up into 80 miles an hour often. But say I'm going around somebody, whatever, I'm not paying attention, which I should be paying attention. Okay, I'm irresponsible, okay? So if I get to 80 miles an hour, I can feel, I just I just know. I'm like, oh, I feel like anxiety, and then I'll just look down, and sure enough, I'm doing 80. So that is one of my triggers. It's something that bothers me. I still suffer a little bit from health anxiety. I'll still go to that top shelf of, oh, hey, I have this pain in my chest. Is it lung cancer? Usually that's the route I go. Okay, with my job, I deal with paint and chemicals. I try to avoid them as much as possible. And I do take a lot of steps to stay away from that, but it's just in the back of my head all the time that, hey, you're going to get lung cancer. You know what I mean? What are some of my other triggers? So I'm going somewhere with this, so hang on. I just want to let you guys know some of my triggers. And if you have triggers, please put your triggers down below, because I know that your guys's are just as odd as mine. So put them in the box, especially if you have a weird one. If you have a weird trigger, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I've heard a lot of doozies. And then what else? Usually getting sick. I usually get triggered with anxiety. Taking my meds every single day. This is a neurotic behavior that I have. I have only Lexapro in my truck. Okay? Every single day I grab this bottle. There are no other bottles. There are no other prescription bottles in this truck. But every single day I look, I make sure it says Lexapro, and I make sure it says 10 milligrams before I open it up and I take one. Every day. It's the only bottle in here. It's the only bottle. I don't even have vitamins. I don't even have Flintstone gummy vitamins, and I always have to do that. It's weird, I know, but it's me. Okay, so, but here's where I'm going with this, okay? If you stuck around, here's where I'm going with this. You have to get past the triggers and the red flags, okay? So, I've had videos about panic attacks and things like that, and I have the same thing. Every time I have a panic attack, I continue to do what I was doing before the panic attack. Okay? Now, thankfully, I don't have them very often, and they're months and months will separate a panic attack for me, and that's usually, I'll have them because I didn't take my medicine. I was being irresponsible. It's usually on my end of why I have a panic attack. Okay? And it's more like, it's not like, it's more like, oh, whoa, that's weird, you know what I mean? So getting through that's what I wanted to tell everybody, is getting through these red flags, getting through these triggers, whether it's agoraphobia is what I hear a lot of. People are like, oh, well, agoraphobia, I get more anxious when I go out. I'm telling you, you need to go out, okay? Yes, you're going to get more anxious, but what you need to do is show your brain that this is okay. There was a time in your life when you went out and everything was fine. And so you need to show your brain that everything is still fine. I can still function. Everything is great, okay? So it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's not. When I have a panic attack and I go to work anyway, that is tough every single time, okay? It's never not tough. It's still scary. I just want to go home. I want to find my safe space, okay? Yeah, I said safe space. That's what I'm trying to find, okay? I want to go home and I want to feel safe. But I know if I do that, I'm creating a blockage in my brain that I'm going to hinge, that every time anxiety happens to me, that I'm going to give into it and I'm going to give it what it wants. No, this is a battle, friends. Don't give it what it wants. Go about your business and what you are doing, even though you're scared, even though it's hard, do it anyway. Figure out the things that make you triggered and take baby steps to get those things to go away, okay? Say you're afraid, I use this example a lot. Say you're afraid to go out, say you're afraid to drive. The best thing to do is go sit in the car. Sit in the car, turn the AC on, turn the heat on, whether it's hot or cold, or just roll the windows down and sit there, listen to music. Enjoy yourself in the car. Have a meal in your car. Next, get a loved one, somebody that you trust, and have them get in the car with you and let them drive you just around the block, back and forth the driveway. Eventually take over. You start driving just around the block, just in the driveway, just small baby steps, and incrementally make those steps bigger. You don't need to jump into the deep end of the pool, okay? You can stick your toe in and step back, and then stick your foot in, step back, and you can do it that way, okay? So don't feel like I'm pressuring you to just, you know, if you have something like agoraphobia, I'm not asking you to go, you know, speak in front of 1,000 people, okay? I'm asking you to branch out of this trigger, of this marker that you've put in your head, okay? And it's not just you. I'm not criticizing anybody, because I have plenty of mine, and I know a lot of other people that have we all have our own triggers, and we all have our own flags to get past, okay? I'm just using agoraphobia as an example, okay? So that's the best thing that you can do for yourself. It is hard, but it's worth it, okay? That's like everything in life. It's hard, but it's worth it. All right, friends? Okay, I'm going to leave this video here. Like I said, put it in the comments below. Let me know what your triggers are. If you have any weird habits like I do with my checking my bottle every single day, like, let me know. You'll start to think about it. Yeah, about that one. Yeah. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And then other than that, friends, I hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy and staying happy. And I'm going to leave this video here. I love you. I'm Aaron. You're awesome. And I'll see you in the next video.